Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Hey, I really need your help. I need your help with my financial discipline. I moved back home this year, and my parents told me that I have this year to fix my finances. I make $105,000 a year, and I'm totally in debt, $121,000 in debt. They're allowing me to pay a rent of $400 a month for the rest of the year for me to get back on my feet.
What's the debt, man?
What is the debt of?
Yeah.
It's $8,000 in credit card, $37,000 in an auto loan, $57,000 on student loans, and $19,000 in a line of credit.
What'd you buy with the line of credit and the credit cards?
So the line of credit was to consolidate my debt from my divorce, because I got assigned the debt because I made substantially more than her. And then the credit card debt is just debt that I've been carrying for the last probably 10 years.
When was the divorce final?
5 years ago.
Okay. And so you've not done anything about cleaning up the mess from 5 years ago yet?
I have not. And that's why my discipline has just been absurd.
When did you buy the $37,000 car?
So that was actually even worse. What happened was I actually bought a $72,000 car, and within a month I realized that I wasn't going to be able to afford it, so I took it back to the dealership because my monthly payment was going to be $1,400 a month, and I was able to get into another Mercedes that was I could roll that negative equity to, which was $56,000, and so far I only owe $36,000, but my monthly payment on the car is $800 a month.
Mm-hmm. So you owe $37,000 now, and the car is worth what today?
It's probably worth like $20,000.
Where'd you get that number?
Just kind of what I've been looking to see if I could resell it and get out of it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And your question is how to have financial discipline?
Yeah. How can I get my ducks in a row to be able to pay this off this year while I have the advantage to just live at home? Mm-hmm. I have a girlfriend that I'm pretty serious with that I want to start a life with next year, and she has an 8-year-old kid. So I want to be financially prepared. Right now, I don't know if my debate is, should I just save this year to get like $30,000 in savings and then start tackling my debt next year? Or if I
think it's time you start tackling this debt. I mean, that's why your parents let you move home. With the sole purpose of you getting your crap together and getting this mess cleaned up.
And they told me this is the last year that they would do that.
Yeah. So, I mean, and so what you need to do is work all the time. Like more than you work now. Like you make $105,000 40 hours a week, right?
Yeah, I'm salaried. I can't get overtime.
I didn't ask you to do that. I want you to get another job.
Go throw boxes. You're not serious about this yet. You don't need a hack, bro. You just need to do it. What has kept you from doing this? I get a year after a divorce, man. Those are messy times. You make dumb decisions. You buy a car. You get an apartment you can't afford. I get that. This 5 years, you're 35 years old. You're about to enter into another till death do us part relationship, this time with a kid. Like, what hack are you looking for, man?
I
don't know because I have only $2,000 in savings. So
okay,
I don't know if
here's what I want you to do. All right. You have to decide that getting this debt paid off is now a matter of life and death, because this crap, this misbehavior on your part has stolen your life.
Literally.
Yeah. And it's stolen your peace. And I want my life back, and I want my peace back, and I'm willing to do anything to save my life. Like the doctor just walked in and said, you're 100 pounds overweight. You're about to die of a freaking heart attack. You got this, and this, and if you don't drop the weight, buddy, you're dead in a year. You know what you would do? You would drop the weight, buddy. Nobody have to talk to you about how to be disciplined. You'd be scared out of your freaking skull, and you'd drop the weight, right?
Yeah.
So get scared out of your freaking skull. And quit. You're hovering around this emotionally as if it's something that is just out there, detached from you. Like discipline is going to fly in and light on your shoulder like a bird. It's not. You're going to have to just look up and go, I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. I've had it. I'm not living like this anymore. You got to get that thing, that roar coming up from inside of you, and then you don't care what your friends think, and you will work 6 jobs throwing boxes at night while you make 105 during the day, and you'll sell this stupid butt Mercedes. Mercedes should be driven by rich people, not broke people. And so what were you even doing on the lot? That doesn't even make sense. So you got to start talking to yourself like that, okay? And go, no more. Yeah. I'm not doing this crap anymore. I'm 35 years old. This sucks, and I'm not going to do it anymore. That's where discipline comes from, is a healthy level of disgust. When the pain of the situation you're in exceeds the pain of change, your butt will change. And until then, it won't. But this pain is emotionally manifested, meaning you just decide, I'm sick of this. And until you are, you're just going to wander around in circles chasing your tail like you've been doing for the last 5 years. And that's any of us, man. We all do that. I've told the story 1,000 times now. It feels like during the Fauci pandemic, I ate every donut in a 50-mile radius. I looked down and they were hanging on the front of me. And I went, this is ridiculous. A fat man is on the radio talking about discipline. I've got to drop the donuts. And you know what? Hadn't had a donut now since the Fauci pandemic. And I walk or run every morning. This morning I did 2 miles. Yesterday I did 5 miles before I came to work as the sun was coming up, because I decided I wanted to do that more than I wanted to be fat. And so I decided to lose it. And it's a decision. I got disgusted with myself.
Yeah, and I can't communicate this strongly enough. There's not a 5-step program to discipline. There's not a super hack. There's not an app. You have to decide. And I'm not next Friday. I'm going to start right now. That's when it starts. That's when it starts. And hey, hang on the line. I'm going to send you Financial Peace University. I want to send you the videos, and you got to commit to watching them. And I want it to seep in. You're in your parents' house. You're 35. This is your ticket out, brother.
But here to be disgusted about.
You got to do it. You got to do it.
There's a lot to be disgusted about. So
today.
Get disgusted. Now. Urgent. Create your free every dollar budget today. The simplest way to budget for your life. Roderick's with us in Houston, Texas. Hey, Roderick, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave and Christina. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So, my wife and I are on baby step 3, and last year my job promised me a $20,000 bonus if I stayed on. I was supposed to be getting this month, but now I think there's a chance I might be getting fired later this week. So when I talk to my boss, I'm trying to figure out how do I convince them to still give me the bonus.
Why are you getting fired?
Well, I'm new at the role. The reason I'm getting the bonus in the first place is because they're laying off part of the department I work in. But instead of laying me off, they gave me a promotion, and I'm coming on too slow. They want me to be a little bit better. I've had a conversation with my boss in August saying that he wasn't happy with my performance. He said I had until October to get better. Just had a conversation with him last week, still not happy. And now I've got a meeting tomorrow, so I think he might be pulling the trigger on firing me.
I'm sorry. That's scary. Yeah. So you're asking how to get them to give you the $20K anyway, even though you didn't work out in the role.
I stayed on so I could get it, finish up baby step 3. Mm-hmm. And I actually was going to leave since they were laying us off. Mm-hmm. But they agreed to give me the $20K if I stayed. But if I get fired, obviously I won't get it. So the transition to the new way of doing things, when it's done, is when they owe the money. It was scheduled to be in October, but it's taken longer to get things how they want it, so they've extended that through December. So I would need to stay through the end of December to get the money.
What is the line for when things are done? Like, is it a very clear line, a project-based thing, or is it just kind of something a bit subjective that the bosses have decided?
No, it's whenever the outsource. We're outsourcing the work, So whenever the new company takes over the work, that's when they're going to pay out the bonus. But they have a deadline of December 31st.
Gotcha. Okay. How big a company is this?
Couple billion a year.
Okay. All right. I don't think there's a perfect sentence or three that's going to cause a couple of billion a year company to decide to give you money if they've already decided not to. So I don't think I have that key on my key ring that I could loan to you. What I would do is finish well, and it doesn't sound like it sounds like they moved you into a role and then did not give you the support to cause you to grow into the role. Instead, just stood you over there on an island, and then they're shocked that the island is sinking. It sounds like leadership's piss poor to me, but I mean the way you're describing this. If we were confronting you about not performing here, you would have heard a lot more than 2 conversations since August. And we would have been saying, what can we do to come alongside you and teach you to ride this horse, because apparently you keep falling off of it. And we want to maybe be able to get you on in the saddle and stay there. And we would be talking about that. And then if you just kept falling off anyway, you would have known. It wouldn't be any question. Usually when someone is leaving here, they're positive that the next meeting they're gone, because it's been like a whole bunch of discussion up to that point. So that's what's bothering me about this, and that's what makes me think there's nothing you can really say to these folks. What I always do in any negotiation is, and that's what this is, if he says you're gone, you say, okay, thank you for letting me try this, and I'm sorry that it didn't work out. I gave it my all, but I didn't do it. I'm not really even in disagreement with you. I'm ready to move on. I was ready to move on back then. You guys asked me to stay and offered me $20,000 to stay. And you just retell the story, but it's all, own it. In other words, don't blame them. And then just say, okay, so what do you guys have in mind as severance, given that I stayed because you were going to give me $20,000 extra? Is that in the severance? And they go, oh, yeah, we're going to give you 4 months, and we're going to give you the $20,000. And you go, okay, right? And thank you. That's very generous of you. I appreciate that. Or if they say, no, you don't get the $20,000, you would say, well, you promised it to me if I stayed, and I stayed, and I didn't quit. You're asking me to leave. So are you sure that you can't do something about that? And I just ask questions about that. And I've always heard underneath a negotiation, if you just have this, underneath the words you're saying, if you'll have this phrase running in your mind that says, no matter what they say, in your mind you're going, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. And so what I learned to do is never get in a back and forth on the number. So we meet in the middle. I'm going to sell you the car for $20,000. No, it's $24,000. Well, we'll meet in the middle at 22. And when I say 24 and you say 20, I don't say let's meet in the middle. I say that's not good enough. And then I let you squirm. Right. And so I kind of want you to throw across the tennis ball back across the desk at him and say that's not good enough in some manner of speaking. And that could be, it could sound like, hey, the $20,000 was really promised and I stayed. And I was willing to stay and help you guys get this through. I understand that I didn't do it the way you wanted it done and that you've made a decision, and I'm not questioning your decision, but I stayed. So is there anything we can do with the $20,000? See, that's another way of saying that's not good enough. You follow me? And so, but I think you own it. I don't think you blame anybody. I don't think you are nasty or unkind or like you guys are crooks or something like that, because I don't think they are. I think you're right. I think they have the right to fire you, and they have the right to not pay you this. And depending on the circumstances around here, would we pay that? Maybe, maybe not. It would depend on the circumstances more than we can get to in the radio call here.
So do you think if they don't fire him tomorrow, let's say they just call him in tomorrow and it's just another meeting where they're like, we're disappointed, do you think he should start looking for a new job?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just as that.
Because I got a feeling December 31st, they're all going bye-bye anyway.
Yeah.
As soon as they get this handed off to the outsource, it sounds like. I think the writing's on the wall. But the other thing is, if they don't fire him, is I'd be asking a lot of questions about asking, okay, I get it that I'm not doing this the right way. What can some of you guys come alongside and teach me and show me and model for me, give me some support on this and show me how to do this? Because my job as the leader, when I've got a team member, facing crap, my job is to take out some of their blockers. And if their blocker is themselves, it's to add some tools to their tool belt. Show them how to do it, and sit with them till they do it, and walk them through that. And so you can't just go run faster. I don't know how to run. Run faster. But I don't know how to run. Run faster. That doesn't work. It's just and it's like that's not leading. That's corporate America crap. And it sounds like that's what you're dealing with, dude. I'm sorry. Sorry you're facing that. You got to have a little knot in your stomach going in there in the morning. That's kind of scary. But, the interesting thing is when you get home tomorrow night, you'll find out they fired you. They didn't kill you. And your life goes on. That's my point. Your life goes on, and I was getting ready to leave anyway. So the only question is whether I get this $20K. And, we always talk about when you're out of debt and you have your emergency fund and they walk in and go, well, we're going to have to lay you off. And like, oh, good. How much is the severance? I was getting ready to go open a business and kick y'all's butt anyway. So
right. Well,
how much is the severance?
Let's get him a copy of Paycheck to Purpose by Ken Coleman.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I want to hear his voice, be excited when he talks about his job. Because even right now, even if he gets this job, if he continues in this job, it doesn't sound like he's going to love it much.
It's a crummy environment.
Yeah, let's get him something he loves, a job he's passionate about.
Yeah, we'll send you Paycheck to Purpose. Let's get going. Gabriel's with us in Detroit. Hi, Gabriel. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, how are you guys?
Great, man. What's up?
Good news and bad news. Bad news, a lot of debt. Good news, how are you guys? The other bad news is I was here before. I was a listener. I started the baby steps. And then probably the last 2 years, I want to say, it just started falling off, the wagon, getting back on credit cards, thinking I could pay it by the end of the month. And that turned into, within 2 years, roughly $35,000 of credit card debt. And I'm at a point where the last 6 months, it's been extremely difficult to just maintain. So I went the route of consolidating my debt and paying this company who would brokerage a deal. At that point, 7 months into this program, I'm extremely skeptical. I'm not as aware as I thought I was what's happening with the money. And it's like I never really had the reins in the first place, but now for sure I don't have an idea where the reins are. And I'm pretty much at the point where there's no more savings. And
How
I
much
haven't.
credit card debt did you run up, Gabriel?
35.
What do you make a year?
I make about 70, and my wife makes about 25.
Okay, so you have $105 or $95,000 household income and $30,000 in credit card debt. Okay, how much is your car debt?
Car debt, I have 13,000.
And what's that car worth? What's that car worth?
There's two. One's a minivan, one's a truck. The minivan is I owe $5,700 on it. It's roughly a $6,000 minivan. The truck currently it's under repair, so I'm trying to get it back on the road. But that one is probably worth 9 or 10, and it's at about $7,000 in debt on that one.
Okay. And how long you been married?
Married since '09, so going on 13
So are
years.
you and your wife? You sound kind of depressed a little bit, like down in the dumps.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
So
yeah,
are you tired enough of the chaos and the disorganization to now fix it?
finally, yeah.
Yeah. And hopefully this time for good? Never go back?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I've been where you've been, where you are. I've done stupid and got the opportunity to live through it, and you're going to be okay. But here's the thing. There's a tremendous power and joy in taking control again, cleaning up the mess, lining it up, and starting to knock it off one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. And that's going to involve canceling your contract with the stupid debt consolidation people, getting the credit cards out and cutting them up. We're going to get you on a budget. You're going to sell so much stuff the kids think they're next. You're not going on vacation, and you're not going into a restaurant. But you knew I was going to say all that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Now, the question is, are you going to do it?
Yes.
Okay. Then I'll show you how. We'll get you into Financial Peace University. Hold on. Kelly will sign you up, and I'll pay for it. And the two of you get in there. But by God, Gabriel, this time do it, son. Do it. Life's too short to live like this. You're getting the crap beat out of you by this stuff. Time for you to stand back up and shake it off. Move on to the next thing. I understand. I'm not picking on you for falling off the wagon, but let's go fix it. Last time. Forever. Hold on. Kelly will pick up.
Today's question comes from Chris in Maryland. I use credit cards for their rewards. I look at getting them, I look at it like getting revenge on the credit card companies for all the money that I paid them in interest so long before I started being responsible. They had no problem charging me 25% interest and missed fee and late fees if I missed a payment. So now I get all the rewards and I can make up for the money that they got out of me. If I had paid them $5,000 in interest over the years and collected more of that in rewards, I come out ahead. What do you think about this mindset? Chris, listen, they're winning in life. Like, do you see their buildings? Do you see the bank's buildings around? Like, you're not getting them. Like, your $5,000, you think it's making a dent in the side of them, and it's just not. And so, for me, let me just tell you, study after study has been proven that you spend more when you spend with credit cards. Okay, that's just a fact. It's 12 to 18% or more, according to Dun & Bradstreet. That was done just a few years ago, that study. So you're going to spend more with credit cards. Even if you think I'm going to get them with the rewards, you're spending more, period. So you're getting the rewards for spending more money. Versus saying, hey, I'm just going to pay for what I want with cash, with my debit card, and then whatever reward I was going to get from the credit card company, I'm probably going to have saved because I used my own money, that amount or even more to make up my own rewards over here. So for me, I just know you end up spending more. I also know that your perspective when you use credit cards, even if you say you pay them off every month, which a new study came out that they said almost 28% of Americans are the only ones that actually pay off their balance in full every month. So majority of people do not. They carry a balance. But that mindset of, well, if I pay it off every month, but still, even if you do, okay, even if you do pay yours off every month, there is still this idea that at the end of the month and you pay that bill, you are still paying for things that you have already experienced. That is foods you've already eaten, movies you've already seen, vacations you've already taken. You are literally living your life in a rearview mirror. Versus if you said, I'm actually going to when I spend money, I'm going to spend my own money. And it's coming out of my bank account in the moment. And that's how I'm going to live. You end up living in the present and even in the future, because when you budget, you're looking ahead to say, hey, what am I going to be doing there? And you're casting a vision. You have a plan going forward versus continuing to look back. And that's what you do. I had a friend who was hardcore on this stuff for years. And we went out to dinner with them a few months ago. And he was like, Rachel, I got to confess, I got a Southwest credit card. I was like, I'm not going to yell at you. Like, we're still going to be friends and go to dinner and all of that, you know? He's like, I know, but I just feel like I needed to tell you. I was like, it's fine. You don't have to tell me. Well, fast forward until 2 weeks after that, we were talking, him and his wife and us, and he goes, I actually ended up cutting up that credit card I told you I got. And I was like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, I had it for about 3 months. And he said, and I realized how much more I just spent subconsciously. Like, we went to the athletic store, and my kids needed new jerseys for the team, this professional team that they were getting jerseys for. And he's like, and I found myself being like, oh, we'll get the nicer ones. Yeah, because it's only like, $20 more. It's not that big of a deal. Here, go. And he's like, and I just ended up subconsciously just spending a little bit more because the emotional tie of not spending my own money was so real and so true. And when you know it's your money coming out of your account, you just spend money differently. And then the last thing I'll say, it's a credit card rant, man. And some people are like, oh, that doesn't bother me. But it does bother me. Because Chris, you're getting these rewards and all of this because of people who have mismanaged their money. People that are mismanaging their money, you're benefiting from their mismanagement for your own self. And to me, it's gross. It's a toxic environment. It's a toxic industry that I'm like, no, I want nothing to do with it. I'm good. Like, I have a debit card. I've never had a credit card. I'm alive. I'm breathing air. And you can still survive today and just spend your own money and not even mess and play with the game. So to me, I want nothing to do with them. So Chris, I don't like your mindset. You asked, what did you think about your mindset? I don't like it. I don't like it. There's my answer.
Brought to you by Xander Insurance. Compare rates from top term life insurance companies in seconds at Xander.com.
I friended somebody on Facebook who I thought was NASCAR driver Denny Hamlin, and we developed a friendship, and it quickly turned financial, and I thought it was Denny Hamlin, and it became all about my money, and I ended up doing like 6 Quandy $500 gift cards, and I was told that he had a briefcase stuck in customs, and his documentation to get it inside the United States expired, so I ended up doing a withdrawal on my 401k and killed my IBM 401k. And then it kept being held in customs, and I ended up doing more loans on my other Global Foundries 401k, and I lost like $100,000.
Oh, man, I'm sorry, dude.
That's awful. I'm so sorry, Mark.
I know it didn't make you feel any better, but people are getting scammed right and left all over the world, man. I'm sorry.
And it's smart people, too.
Yeah.
So the easiest thing to fall for is, well, I'm just a big idiot. It could happen to anyone. These scams these days are getting so sophisticated that the smartest people out there are still falling for this stuff. And I'm sorry that you were the next victim.
Yep.
When did you realize that this was a scam?
It was later on. This happened like February. It started February of last year, and it started out with like 5 or 6 $500 gift cards, and from there it went to him saying his documentation to get his stuff inside the U.S. expired, and then it went to his bank was dragging his feet, and he needed to have me do another loan, and I just...
How did you send all this money?
It was by a cashier's check. And I sent it to place in, I believe, in Virginia. And I had the police... No, it was in Arkansas. Sorry, Arkansas. And I had the police in Arkansas looking at it. I called the U.S. Secret Service. I called the FBI, I called the state police, I called the Berry police, and you name it, I called it, and one by one, everybody just left me, and my lawyer said that I needed to have a different type of lawyer, and my lawyer was helping me out for quite a while, and then my other lawyer has not really gotten back in touch with me, so...
Well, let's pretend that there's a worst-case scenario where we just have lost this money and we have to rebuild. Where are you at today?
I only recommend term life insurance because it's simple, affordable coverage. And you should get it only from Xander Insurance because they work for you, not the insurance companies. Xander compares all the top term plans to save you money so you don't get ripped off with insurance that they market like a so-called investment. Term from Xander is the only life insurance I would get from my family. It's all I've ever bought and all I've ever recommended. Go to Xander.com or call 800-356-4282.
Where are you at today?
I just barely looked at my 401k, and I thought that I had I thought originally it was like 200,000, which to me was all right, considering it's just me because I'm divorced.
How old are you?
And then I am 54.
Okay.
And I looked at my balance as of today, and it was 146,321. So it's not 100,000 like I thought it was. It's 146.
Okay. Do you have any debt today?
No. The only thing I do, I pay $1,000 for rent, and that's heat, hot water, utilities, trash, recycle. And then I pay $60 for phone, and then I pay like $50 a month for Wi-Fi, and that's it.
Good. So you have low expenses. What do you make a year?
I make about $60,000 a year. My pay per hour is $24.71.
Okay. So how can we help today?
I'm scared and I'm fearful, and I'm wondering what to do.
What are you scared of specifically?
Finances, worrying how I'm going to afford things. What happens when I need a car? How do I get my money back that I lost?
I think you have to go in when everything feels overwhelming. I think you have to go in a particular order and go slower than you think. Here's what I mean.
Yep.
In your guts, you want vengeance. You want to find out who hurt you, who weaponized what you thought was a new friendship, especially on the back end of a divorce when things are tough. Somebody weaponized what I think is the most sacred thing, and that's a relationship. And then inside that relationship, somebody asks you for help, and you're the kind of guy that helps. And that hurts, man.
Yeah.
And
I feel like I was financially raped.
It's fair enough. And so you want to go get all that money back. Your car transmission doesn't care about that. And so while I want to get it back, I want to find the guy, I'm calling all the people, like that's like front and center in your guts. You feel that really heavy. When we're hurt like this and it feels overwhelming, it's important to feel that feeling and then go do the next right thing. And in your case, we just got to start again financially. And that sounds caustic, but there's not another option. And so here's the good news. You have 150 grand.
Yes.
You didn't wipe it out. So we're going to start building it back. We're going to get an emergency fund built up. So we're our own bank. And so when our car goes, we're going to be a couple of years away from getting the big, nice truck we wanted. Cool. We're going to be able to have money in the account just in case we need to go get a new Camry. Great. Cool. Problem solved. On to the next one. And then in the background, we'll do what we can. I don't know. I mean, the chances that you get this money back are very, very, very slim.
Yep.
What I don't want is for this to consume you. Obviously, it already has, but for the next 10 years, you're just on this hunt and this search, and over time, it becomes more and more apparent it's not going to happen. And so I also don't want you to waste your time kind of going down this rabbit trail all for nothing. I'd rather you spend that time rebuilding than recovering. And so we can rebuild. You might have to work a few years longer than you wanted to. You're 54. I just crunched some numbers for you. If you just invested 15% of that $60,000 income, never got a raise, but you'd have to work till 70, you could have $1 million in that 401k and retire with dignity, especially if you keep your expenses low. So I'm not worried that you're going to just go completely broke. I'm more worried about Mark as a person, emotionally and physically.
Thank you.
Can I give you a homework assignment?
Kind of, yeah. So I know how you guys say to jumpstart and go and pay off one bill and then do a snowball and go after the next bill. So a friend offered to pay off my small loan that I have.
I thought you said you had no debt.
Well, no, those loans that I took out on my 401k, I have two loans on my 401k that I took out. And
how much are they?
Let's see. One is like 19,000, and the other's like 3,000.
Okay. So is that all of your loans and debt? To be clear, you don't have any credit card debt, no car debt, just the 401k loans.
That's it.
I would not put money between you and yet another relationship.
No.
And so your friend is awesome. He's just like you. He's a guy who shows up and helps, wants to help. and you've tried that before and you put money between you and what you thought was a friend and it went sideways, I would recommend not doing that. But I would also recommend you double clicking on that friendship because he's the kind of guy that will show up in the middle of the night to help you out.
Yes, he is.
Pretty cool. And then say, hey, man, I love you. This is one I got to work through. Because part of your healing will be in the sweat equity of earning that $3,000.
This guy is probably one of the most godliest people I've ever met in my life.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I would recommend not taking that money, even though it feels like an easy solution. I would recommend saying, "Hey, thank you. You showed up in the night for me, and I'm grateful. But I want to work this one off. It's going to be my sweat tax. It's going to be my reminder to never get into an online relationship like that again. I don't loan money to friends. I might give it to you, but I got to look you in the eye before I hand it to you, right?
Yeah.
Could you throw $3,600 a month toward these 401k loans if you got scrappy?
Could I do that?
Yeah.
No, I am.
How much could you throw at it?
I am so broke that I can't do hardly anything. What I'm doing right now is I anticipated having to owe like $8,800, $8,300 on the taxes from last year. That is in debt negotiation.
Hang on the line, Mark. I'm going to send you a copy of my book, Breaking Free from Broke. It's going to walk you step by step through this, but it's going to take getting more income and cutting expenses and getting rid of this debt. Wishing you the best, man.
If anyone depends on your income, you need affordable term life. Never cash value insurance. Visit Xander.com today for quotes. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Recently just got my car repossessed. Yes, sir. And I'm trying to see what's my next course of action. I've been watching you guys for a while and just trying to see my next course of action. How can I come back from that? Pretty much.
Wow. So you just woke up and it was gone out of the driveway?
No, sir. I actually seen them when they actually pulled it.
Oh, okay. All right. That is an emotional experience, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
It feels like somebody's stealing something.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think that's why these repo guys get so much crap off of the customer. It's because they're like slipping up in your driveway, taking your stuff out of your driveway. It's dangerous. It's wow.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sorry, man. So how much was the car payment?
The car payment was about $584.
Mm-hmm. How much did you owe on the car?
It was about maybe $3,000 on it. I definitely went over maybe 100 days on it. Just
$3,000 is all you owed?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
And what was the car worth?
From what my documents I'm looking at, I believe it in the range of about 20 grand or something like that.
Oh, so you had bought this car, almost paid it off or put a bunch down. So what happened that you were not able to make the payment? Tell us what happened in your situation.
Really just, just really negligence on me, and just, and I lost my job in November, which was my main means of, really the main means of employment that I could pay the bill. But I lost that job in November of 2023, and just from there, just covering my other stuff, and and just really just neglecting the bill almost. I would say. How long ago
did this happen?
It was they pulled it like a week or two ago.
Okay. Have you talked to them about paying it off and picking it up?
Yes, sir, I have. And they had told me that I would have to pay the full amount.
The $3,000.
The $3,000 plus, what's the car owed on the car, which was, I think the amount they told me was like $21 if I wanted to recover it.
Oh, you're saying, so I see. So the missed
you
payments
didn't owe
were $3,000.
You were behind $3,000.
Yes, sir.
I see.
Yes, sir, I was
Okay.
behind $3,000.
But you owe
Yes, sir.
$21.
And the
Yes,
car's
sir.
worth
Well,
20.
It was at like 18 before they added the fees and stuff at the end.
Yeah, but you owe as much as it's worth.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Got
All
it.
Oh, man. Are you back to work? Are you doing anything? What are you driving in the last 2 weeks?
Nothing right now because I didn't have anything pretty much saved up for another means.
Are you single?
So I'm trying to. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So you've been sitting at home for 2 weeks. How you getting around?
Well, I've really just been applying for jobs, and if anything came up, I could like Uber or something like that at the moment. But
What are you doing for work? And what are you earning currently?
I was working at GameStop. That was like my last recent job, but I just recently wasn't even there anymore. I only was working for like 2 days a week, something like that.
By choice or because they didn't have the hours?
Just didn't have the hours. I would say I just came in on the job.
Okay,
So
what about now?
Now I'm not working at all.
Listen, if I'm you, I do think that everybody kind of has an ideal work situation in their mind of something that they're shooting for. And sometimes you can hold off thinking, I'm just going to hold off until I get the job that I want. But in your case, you literally can't afford to do that for many reasons, your self-confidence, and, you need cash. Like there's many reasons to take any job until you get the job. And one of those things is self-confidence. The more you sit at home, the more you're going to feel some type of way about yourself and what you're able to accomplish. But if you go out and get any job and take the first job, number one, it puts a little money back in your pocket, gives you a little boost of feeling good about yourself.
Like, do you have a friend that works construction, Liddell?
No, sir, not that I know. I have friends that work like with railroad companies and stuff like that, maybe.
Yeah. Call him and ask him if they'll put you on, and he can give you a ride to work for 2 weeks till you can get a check and get you $1,000 car.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Your car that got repoed, we'll circle back to that, is the least of your problems right now. I'm more worried about you eating and paying rent and keeping the lights on and getting your life back on track than I am that stupid car. It's kind of good that car's gone because it was a real hanging over your head problem. So here, look, I'll go ahead and give you the full answer on the car so you know what you're looking at, but let's focus 99% of your efforts on finding a ride to work and getting some kind of work going 50, 60, 70 hours a week right now. Go crazy, man, and make you some quick, easy money somewhere, just working like a maniac and bum rides off of friends for 2 weeks and then go get you, or catch an Uber, whatever you got to do, but go get you $1,000 or $1,500 car and pay cash for it. Okay. Is that a plan?
Yes, sir. That's definitely a plan.
Now, the other car, we're just going to let them have it.
Okay.
And then here's what's going to happen. They're going to sell it on a repo lot. You owe 21 with all the fees. They're going to sell it for 12, 14,000. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's going to be 6 months from now, maybe. And then they're going to come knocking on the door, not literally, but they're going to send you notes and start threatening you that you owe them the difference. It's called the deficit, 21 minus whatever they sell it for. Let's call it 14, so you owe them 7. Okay? When they do that, they will settle that for about 20 cents on the dollar. So you probably could settle that old bad debt, the deficit on the repo, for somewhere around $1,500 when it comes due.
Okay.
I'm not going to be far off. It might be 1,000, it might be 2,000, but it's somewhere in that range. It's not. You're not going to owe them $10,000. They're going to come at you for $7,000 to $10,000, but you can settle that for pennies on the dollar. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir, I understand.
But in the meantime, obviously, and that's probably going to be a year before you hear from them on that.
Okay.
So we're going to put that repo, as nasty as it is, in the back of your mind and try to get to work and get your current life straightened out as fast as you possibly can here. I think that's what's going to matter, is what Jade said, because the way you feel about yourself and the sense of desperation, the knot in your stomach and knot in your throat, I've been there, man. It's no fun. It's terrorizing, terrifying. And so, I want you to get some cash coming in that place. Then go get you a little beat-up car that's reliable and get your life started back. And then pile up some cash to get ready for when they come at you later on this. Create your free Every Dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
My spouse and I, back in July of 2021, we purchased an investment property and we put a $100,000 deposit down. And that was when the COVID interest rates had gone right down. And in Canada, they're right back up. I don't know how it is in the States, but
they're up.
We're looking at our closing date coming up in 2 months, and we don't know if we can afford this.
Was the financing already approved?
No. So we did sit down with our bank, and essentially, I think if we sold our current home, we would be able to get the mortgage. But my predicament is that even if we do get approved for a mortgage, we're looking at a $5,000 plus mortgage per month. And we've been looking at different avenues, potentially renting, but in that area, the likelihood of someone renting over $3,500 is very slim. And so we would still be having money coming out of our pocket. And now the reason we're thinking about doing a mutual release at this point is because we put that $100,000 down, but we did really well with our first home through COVID. We bought it really low, and then when we sold, we had actually got a lot of equity and paid off that line of credit that we used to put the deposit down on that home. And I just don't know if it's worth it to jeopardize and try and push this mortgage through. Also, my spouse is military, so he's currently posted to where we are, and I don't even know how the moving predicament would work.
So have you guys been building for that long?
Yeah, the builder was very delayed. Through COVID, they stopped a lot of the building, and it's been ongoing for a long time.
Okay, was it a custom build, or was it one that was within a development and you pick a floor plan kind of thing?
It was in a development.
Okay.
What does the contract say? Because you signed the purchase agreement. Have you talked to the builder about what it would look like to back out?
So we did ask them about a mutual release. Essentially, if we did back out, we would be forfeiting our $100,000 deposit.
Yeah. So that would be sort of the stupid tax, I guess.
Yeah,
of
and
losing out on that.
How much would the full mortgage be if you did go forward? I'm just curious how much the house is.
We originally purchased for about 1.1, and with $100,000, it would be about $1 million mortgage.
Okay.
So you were going to put nothing down?
Well, if we were looking at the option of renting, if we sold our current house, we have enough equity that we could probably get the mortgage down to about $700,000.
Why wouldn't you sell your current house?
My husband's military, and he's posted here, so it would be so many loopholes and jump throughs. Like, he might not even be able to move, so we might have to.
But then why were you getting this new house?
Because we didn't realize that he would be posted out at that time. We were posted to that base. And so this was back in 21. This is about 3 years later now. So, and also too, we thought with the interest rates, honestly, we weren't thinking ahead. With the interest rates at that point, it was affordable.
Right. Haley, how are you guys financially overall? Do you have savings? Do you guys have debt?
Our debt is paid. Like, we don't really have any debt. We have some equity in our home. My husband's military serving right now. He makes about $80K a year. I've retired from the military. I got injured. I'm getting an income replacement benefit of about $50K a year. So total income is about $130,000.
Okay. Do you guys have money saved?
Other than whatever we have in equity, no.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out how big this $100,000.
I don't see a world where you guys could have afforded $1 million home, regardless of what interest rates were doing. I think you guys weren't thinking through this and got a little starry-eyed at what a new build would be. And life happened.
I agree. And
you cannot keep both. There's no world where you keep both of these properties.
Absolutely.
So if you're going to make this move and not lose your $100,000, you need to sell the property, save up as much as you can until this build is done, and minimize the mortgage as much as possible. And you might not even be able to stay in it that long. Because it sounds like it's unsustainable. You guys barely make $5,000 a month.
Yeah, it's not sustainable.
Yeah, I don't think you guys can do it. I don't think you can.
What's your mortgage now?
My mortgage, well, they just increased it because we had a variable rate. It's about $3,000. It was.
You're barely covering the mortgage now. What's take-home pay?
I'm sorry?
What's your take-home pay every month between you and your husband?
Gosh. I don't even know. My husband does the finances, so.
My guess is about $6,000, and half of it is taken up by your mortgage.
Yeah. Net, it would probably be around there. And I'm more on the side of mutually releasing. It doesn't immediately affect us with regards to losing $100,000. it sucks. But I just wanted, I guess, your advice and kind of clarification on that before I move ahead. I mean, it is a lot of money and it is a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, almost, I would.
I don't think you have an option. I
was
think
gonna
you
say,
have
I
to
would-
release it and lose
yeah.
$100K.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a better option than going into $1 million house that you guys can't afford the mortgage. That the mortgage payment is basically what you're bringing in every month. I mean,
You'd foreclose on it within months.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
I know, and we have children. I don't want to jeopardize that.
Yeah.
Like, his parents have offered because they have multiple properties, offered to sell one of their properties, but at the same time, we don't want to. We don't want to be indebted to them.
That's right. No. Key, I would keep this clean. I think this is a decision. Was the $100,000, was it cash, Haley, or did you guys take out a loan for that?
So we did it originally on our first residence that we had purchased. It was our first home, and we had purchased it for about $500,000. And then when we sold for $9 million. But we had taken out a home equity line of credit, but that is paid off. There's no debt owing towards that.
Okay, so the $100,000, it'll just be gone. It's not debt that you have to repay.
No. So
Okay.
my husband just told me, he said our income is $89.07 per month.
Okay, that's better
Yes.
for your $3,000 mortgage.
net.
So that's net. So that's a third of your take-home pay, which is a lot,
Yeah.
but it's not going to crush you financially. So I would just stay put where you are and mutually release this, lose the $100K, and learn from it.
Yeah, it's a tough learning lesson, but I definitely needed to hear that, so I appreciate your help.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry you're going through it. That's not a fun thing to deal with. And for anyone watching out there who's military or they move around a lot, this is why we tell people it's okay to rent. It's okay to stay put. Don't feel like you have to go get a house because people are telling you got to get a house, you got to get a house. And obviously their situation's different, but it's one of the risks you take.
For sure.
With new builds, with mortgages, of you don't know where you're going to end up and what life is going to be like. And
that's one reason, our house purchasing formula at Ramsey is pretty conservative and people, they don't like it very often. But this is one of the reasons why, too, is like we just know life happens. And if so much of your income is being taken up by your mortgage or what you think life will be like when you're doing a build that's 2, 3, 4 years long, like, I mean, you just have to be realistic about it. And so, and also, too, I think when you have information and you have facts, you're able to make wiser decisions. And so that's one thing, too. And this isn't to, harp on Haley by any means, but she was like, I'm not sure my husband takes care of the finances, which happens a lot too in families. But if you're married, you guys, you together need to be making these decisions, meaning both of you need to know the facts, both of you, because you both bring a perspective to the table, right? Haley could have, if she, maybe
she knew
had
what was
more
going on.
information, she could have said something that maybe would have directed a different decision. I mean, I don't know, but that's why it's important that's the beautiful thing about being married is that you have two people in these big decision-making processes, but you both have to have the facts and understand what's going on. And then sometimes you make a decision and you pay the stupid tax, which is what we say, but we'd rather do that, honestly, than go into $1 million home that the mortgage is eating up close to 75% of their income. So I'm glad you guys called, Haley. Good luck. And again, I'm so sorry. So sorry this is the situation.
Create your free Every Dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
I recently got into a rental home back in March of this year. We are already behind, and unfortunately, we were not completely forthcoming with the landlord that we leased from.
In what way?
He doesn't have my correct Social Security number.
Okay. Why?
Because the way we've been living over the last several years, we have been kicked out of previous homes that we've rented.
How many?
At least 6.
So you've been evicted 6 times, and now you're behind on your rent for the 7th.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We are.
Why?
There are several reasons. A lot of it has been me attempting to try to make my spouse happy and not making the right decision as a man, as a leader, and being too passive.
Is that in the form of you not working or you choosing places you just grossly can't afford?
choosing places we can afford.
Okay. All right. So what do you make, David?
I have a few sources of income, sir. I work full time. That brings in about $1,000 a week after taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And once I'm done with that job, I have other companies that I work for when they need me to do towing and changing tires and getting people's keys out of their cars and things of that nature. On a slow week, that adds about another $300. On good weeks, it could add up to around $600.
So around
And
50.
then-
So let's call it
55.
another $6,000 a year, give or take. Okay. And
then I get,
and does your wife work outside the home?
No, I get an additional $41.53 now through the Army.
From a retirement or
Correct.
discharge or medical discharge.
Correct.
Okay. So you get another $4,000 a month.
Correct.
Okay. So I got 52 and 6 and 4 and 48, and so you're making over $100,000 a year. Pray tell,
Exactly.
what is your rent?
$2,610.
Okay. Which you actually can afford.
Exactly.
It's the lifestyle.
And what else are you doing with the money instead of paying for the rent?
This time around, it was because I made the poor decision to promise a trip for one of my children. And so it was one of the situations where...
No, I mean,
I was
you're bringing in $10,000 a month. You have $2,600 in rent. Where is all
Correct.
the money going?
We had to buy a car outright, and we've had to put, up to this point, about...
How expensive a car did you buy outright?
It was $1,400, sir.
You bought a $1,400 car.
No, this is sorry. This can't be it because
That's
there's
not even
some-
close. Okay, so what? I'm not talking about this month. I'm talking about over the last several years. You've been making serious money and have chosen not to pay your rent.
No, sir. This has only transpired over the last 9 months.
Okay, so why'd you get kicked out of the last place then? Why weren't you paying your rent? I mean, you have a huge car payment anywhere?
No, sir.
Okay. How many kids do you have?
I have 5.
Okay. How old are they?
The oldest is 28, out on her own.
Good.
The other one is 23. He's
Good.
out on his own.
Good.
And then I have a 21-year-old, a 19-year-old, and a 12-year-old that are living with us.
Okay. All right. And does your wife work outside the home, sir?
She doesn't work outside the home. She's doing something on her own on the side, and that brings in an additional now $1,400 a month.
Okay. All right. And so if you brought in $10,000 last month, why did you not pay your rent? Because you promised a trip and bought a $1,400 car?
Well, it was a $1,400 car, but unfortunately, it needed about $2,500 worth of repairs that we weren't aware of, and now it needs another $14,000.
How long have you been making $100,000 a year? How long have you been making a decent income?
9 months. As he said, 9 months ago he got this
9
job.
months.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay,
9 months.
I missed that. Okay.
All right, David, there's something really glaringly missing in this whole equation, and I can't put my finger on it. And I hesitate to just start lashing out at this very frustrating situation because you're hurting and you're scared. Okay, so here's the simple. Let me just back into the way you should be doing this. Okay.
Okay.
The way you should be doing this is you ought to be bringing home the money, and the first thing it does is buy food. The second thing is lights and water, and the third thing is you pay your rent. You have the money to do all of those. What in God's name causes someone to buy a $1,400 car and then spend $2,500 on it and then propose to spend another $1,400 on it? You drive that thing over to the junkyard, park it, and take a check and walk away and go buy something else. This is dumber than a rock, man. Don't do that. And then you guys have got to get on a game plan and start to control your money. And I don't know, and quit promising kids stuff, and then you then you get evicted. Oh, and by the way, commit criminal fraud and don't give them your actual proper Social Security number, too. That's like go to jail stuff, man. Don't do this stuff. Create your free Every Dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
So I'm kind of in a tough spot right now. I owe over $100,000. I'm kind of lost right now. I don't know if I should file bankruptcy. I just need some advice.
Wow. What do you owe $100,000 on, man?
So I'm just getting over a gambling problem. So most of it is credit cards, $80,000 in credit cards, $8,500 in student loans, and I have $11,500 on my car.
How long you been dry?
About 1 month.
Good for you. Congratulations. What kind of gambling were you doing?
Online gambling.
Yeah.
It was kind of bad.
Okay. On like poker or what?
It's a game called Lightning Dice. It's a
okay, yeah.
dice game.
Okay, cool. All right. Because we're seeing a lot of it with what you're doing, and we're seeing a lot of it with sports gambling too, sports betting. That's why I was asking. All right, so so you've gotten some help. You're in Gamblers Anonymous, and you got some good therapy going, right?
No, I'm actually not. I just went cold turkey. I just stopped.
Okay. You probably ought to have somebody walking with you, dude.
Right.
So check out GA for Gamblers Anonymous. It's like Alcoholics Anonymous, but for gamblers. And check out somebody in your area that does therapy and that can be a counselor for you. I wouldn't want to work out of that by myself, and I'm a strong dude. I would have somebody walking with me if it was me, and I'm pretty disciplined. Okay, so yeah, it's good to have somebody in your corner that stays inside your brain to help you stay dry. Because sobriety is the only way you survive this. Okay, you got to stay out of it, right?
Right.
So what do you make? What's your income?
I make around $110,000 to $140,000 a year. It depends.
What do you do?
I drive trucks.
Okay, good for you. Okay, so you were a little bored out there running around, and that's how you got into this. That makes sense. Okay,
Right.
And that's yet another reason you need somebody in your corner, because you're alone a lot.
Yeah, you're a single guy, no kids, no girlfriend, nothing like that.
I have a girlfriend.
Okay.
Good. Okay. She know about all this?
Yeah, she does.
Good. That's healthy. Good for you. I'm proud of you, man, for stopping it and for recognizing. So what we got to do now is go to the scorched earth, no life place where you don't get to do anything except pay this money back for a while. And you dig, the deeper you cut into your lifestyle and do nothing except pay debts, eat peanut butter and jelly, eat beans and rice, that's it. And we're not doing anything fancy. We're not going on vacations. We're going to clean up the mess. The harder you cut, the faster you get out. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
And that's a good thing because, I'm no therapist or anything like that. But typically when you have something that's been such a big part of your life and your habits, just removing it is not enough. You have to replace it with something else, right? And so now you're replacing it with this getting out of debt business. That's you working and doing all the things that Dave said. And so you're replacing one habit for another habit, which is now a healthy habit.
Right. It all started since since around Thanksgiving time. I was only $30,000 in debt, and then ever since Thanksgiving, it shot up.
Woo!
Oh,
You fell off the cliff. Yeah. Oh.
Even more reason to get in community, like Dave said, get in that Gamblers Anonymous, get with a therapist. You're going to need that.
Yeah,
anybody would.
Yeah, that's just good. That's good practice. Because what I'm trying to do is get the highest probability situation for you to win and be wealthy 10 years from now. And that obviously win means not gambling anymore. Okay, that's what win, not win at gambling, but win at life. So, that's. And then what we're going to do is we're going to list these debts, smallest to largest, pay minimum payments on everything but the little one, and we're going to attack the little one with a vengeance, like our life depends on it. Beans and rice and beans, no life. We're throwing everything in the budget at the debt. When the smallest one's gone, you take the payment you used to pay there and any other money we can squeeze out of our life, and we throw it at the next one, we throw it at the next one, we throw it at the next one. And you work like a crazy man. You take every route you can take, and you just completely lean into this. So let's say you went to all the way from 140. Let's take you all the way up to 150 because you're just working all the time. Now, how fast can you get 80 making 150? Well, you got to live on 70, and you do it in 1 year.
Right.
That's how that math works. So that's the type of intensity I'm talking about. So, I mean, you need to do this in a year to 18 months because that indicates the intensity by which you're running from, or you're running straight into the problem and from the thing that caused the problem, the gambling.
Right. That's right.
So, yeah, that's very good. Good for you, man. I'm proud of you. Hang
we're
on.
pulling for you.
We're gonna be rooting for you. Hang on. I'm gonna give you every dollar, our premium budgeting app, and it also guides you through our baby steps, exactly what to do first, what to do second, and all the way through to wealth and all the way out of this debt. And you're going to be great, man. I'm proud of you. If you need help, call us back anytime, Jelani. We're here for you. Proud of your sobriety. Keep it up, man. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. We're going to go to GT in Roanoke, Virginia to start this hour. Hi, GT. How are you?
Oh, I'm all right. A little nervous and a little concerned after checking my credit statement the other day.
Okay. What's up?
Well, I've got over $500,000 in debt, and I'm getting ready to sell a house, but I just don't know what to do with the money, and I'm worried I made a mistake.
Okay. $500,000 in debt on what?
$30,000 in truck, $35,000 on land at the lake, $135,000 on the house that we're getting ready to sell, and $350,000 on the house we just bought.
Okay. And what's your household income?
160 to 180, depending on overtime.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I would encourage you to separate out the debt when you're kind of looking at it, because that is overwhelming when you're having all of the 350 is your primary mortgage, right?
Yes, it is, and that we're moving into that one within the month.
Tell us a little bit about the house you're about to sell with the 135 that you mentioned. How much equity is in that house?
We've got it under contract for $260.
Okay. So what you've already closed on the house that's $350, that's your main house, right? And that's your old house, right?
The $350 is the one that we closed on that we're moving into. The other one is the old house, yes.
How much did you put down?
We haven't closed. The $350?
Mm-hmm.
None.
But
it was sort of go ahead.
Go ahead. How did you do that?
It was a situation where it was about to be foreclosed on, and it was a great deal. It's probably worth $550, and the foreclosing bank wouldn't allow us to make a contingent on selling our own home.
Right, and so you just went and got a bank loan.
Yes.
Okay. Is the $350 now on a permanent mortgage, or is it still a bank loan?
Permanent.
Okay. All right. So you're set up then. The other house is sold. When you sell it, you've got the money to pay off the truck and the other $35,000, right?
Yes.
And you'll be debt-free other than your home?
Yes.
Okay. Where's the overwhelm part?
Just seeing $500,000 in debt. I've never had that much before in my life.
Okay. So you're doing all this two-step, and you just didn't look at how many different squares you were stepping on.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. But now once you finish the dance, it's not overwhelming anymore, really.
No, I guess not.
I mean, you got $350,000 house payment. That's it. You've got another $60,000 laying in your checking account that we need to set some aside for your rainy day fund, your emergency fund. Let's call that $35,000, and that gives you $30,000 to put on some other stuff. Maybe get your retirement and your kids' college started with some of that. And so the end of the story turns out the wake-up call and the lesson to be learned, it sounds like, is that the way you went at this left you more vulnerable than you like to be, and I would agree with you.
Yeah.
Because there was a moment here, and we're kind of still sitting in it at this moment until this house closes, the first house closes. There's a moment here where you're $550,000 in debt, and if it went sideways, you'd be messed up.
Yeah.
Like if the market froze up and you couldn't sell that other house, you'd be up a creek right now.
Yeah, I would.
And so the good news is it sounds like you're going to get out by the hair of your chinny chin chin and end up in actually a good place. But the good news is it scared you enough to make you concentrate more next time you were faced with a similar opportunity to hide the pea under a shell.
Yeah.
Am I missing something?
No, you're spot on. I just, like I said, once the numbers hit me, it scared me.
Good.
And I was like, what if something goes wrong?
Yep, good.
Well, and remember that feeling.
Yeah, and so next time you go, because I don't enter. I used to do stuff like that all the time, and until it took my dadgum head off, and I'm walking around like a Halloween costume or something looking for my head. It was gone. It just knocked it off, and I'm like, geez, man, my whole life got turned upside down here. I lost everything. I just about lost my marriage. It destroyed my whole freaking world, and so I don't even go close to that stuff anymore. And so that can be your lesson. Like I kind of overstepped here. I was walking along the edge of the cliff, and the rocks were falling off, and I acted like they weren't, and I was singing and whistling a tune, and I made it back safe, but I'm not going to take that path again. I don't like being that close to the edge, and that's a good lesson. So just learn the lessons, GT. That's all I would tell you. Yeah, and then just use the lessons you've learned to continue forward, being responsible with your finances. Stay away from the edge of the dadgum cliff. Right, exactly. That's really what it does come down to. So very, very good question. And so it's a good example, and his emotion came up and caught him. But if this had gone sideways, but now that it's turned out, it's really going to leave him in a very good place, a very reasonable place. He's debt-free, everything but his house. Great income. $350,000 mortgage with $180,000 income. That's not out of line. This is all very doable, okay? He ends up in a good place. But this is an example of when he started this process, he doesn't know that's going to turn out, and that's what caught him and took his breath away. Most people don't even bother to have their breath taken away. They just go, oh, that's what I planned, and that's what happened. Here's the debt only works, or buying two houses at one time only works, or doing these things only works when it works. And most of the time, life doesn't work exactly the way you had it planned. And so that's when it gets your dadgum head taken off, and that's where you get to experience the borrower is slave to the lender, and a foolish man devours all he has. And in the house of the wise are stores of choice food and oil. And these Bible verses that talk about living on less than you make, having an emergency fund, having a plan, and not being in debt. And that, that plan works in good times and in bad times. And so we had a call in an earlier hour today where I told a guy, do not buy the second house until the first one is sold. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Same scenario here, because you can get caught. Now, good news is GT got out. I'm happy for him. Happy he didn't learn the lesson except put his stomach in his throat without having to learn the lesson. That's good. That's good. I'm happy that there's no harm, no foul. I don't wish bad things on people. What I try to do is help you avoid setting yourself up where bad things can get you. Don't let them get you.
Darren joins us in Alberta, Canada. Darren, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Great. How can we help?
So, I am just starting out as a young family. I have one little kid, 22 years old, and have absolutely zero financial sort of savvy, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. I'd never learned how to treat money. I could have saved a ton when I was younger, but didn't.
You said you're 22?
Now we're stuck living. 22, yes.
Oh, you act like you were like a very old man with no time left.
That's what it kind of feels like.
Dude, most people wish they learned this stuff. Yet, brother. You're good, man.
I know, and that's kind of why I'm trying to turn this all around, because at the moment, how things are going, it looks like I'll be working till I'm 80.
Wow. Well, we can
And
change
I
that.
don't want to do that.
Why do you feel that way? What's your financial situation? Do you have a lot of debt?
Unfortunately, we do. Well, actually, fortunately, we do not have much. Only about $2,000.
Okay.
In credit cards. Just recently starting to look into the baby steps, but every time we try to get our $1,000 emergency savings put down, since it's winter with COVID, my hours are cut. There's no work really going at the moment, so we end up cutting into it just to pay our ordinary bills. We don't eat out. We don't spend extra money. We don't do anything. And like I've already started running DoorDash and taken on as many extra side jobs as possible just to make sure we have enough. How can we change things enough?
What do you do for a living, man? What's your day job?
I run a hydrovac truck for an environmental company. Like you'd think it'd have a little more work, but winter has almost no work, and competition is beating us out.
Yeah. So, what do you make a year, man?
About $40,000.
$40,000.
Is that all of the household income?
Yes, my wife doesn't work. We have a little boy at home, and yeah.
So you owe $2,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
We managed to wheedle it down.
Yeah. So
I'd like to get rid of the credit cards entirely.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So I'm going to let George walk you through the baby steps, but I want to back out 30,000 feet. Okay.
Okay.
Brother, you're in a better spot than you think you are. It's cold and it's been dark the last few months, and you sound beat down. How old's your baby?
He's 8 months.
8 months. So I want to tell you, I've got 2 little ones myself. You're in the season of 8 months when it's exhausting. You can't go outside because it's zero, or it's -0 where you are. All of this weighs down on you. The way I hear in your voice is like you're under one of those anxiety blankets, those weighted 50 or 80 pound blankets or 40 pound blankets, and like your soul has left you. You are not in bad shape financially, brother. You are way ahead of the game. I think the question you and your wife need to ask yourself is this where we want to live? If this is going to be the financial reality of the job I work in now, and by the way, since I was 22, I've probably had 5 to 6 to 7 different jobs, a couple of different careers. So you're good, man. But I want you to look at this with optimism, not with it's all coming down, because you're 22, man. You are just getting started. And you only owe $2,000. The number of calls we get from 22-year-olds who owe $100,000 is astronomical, right? So you're in a good spot. I want you to look at this through joy, not through it's all over. Is that cool?
Okay.
All right.
Good foundation there. So, Darren, it sounds like to me that you don't have a lot of margin in your budget every month.
I've actually never even made a budget.
Well, today is the day, my friend. I'm gonna hook you up with Ramsey Plus. That's our year-long membership, and it's gonna get you connected to every dollar, our budgeting tool. Austin will pick up after our call's over and get you connected with that. I also want you to go through the Financial Peace University videos with your wife. Do this as a family. Start budgeting, and you're gonna see where your money's going. Because right now it sounds like you're not really sure why there's no money left at the end of the month. And so I want to know exactly where that's going.
We did crunch it all together, and we did figure out exactly how much more we would need to accomplish just the bills.
Good. And you may need to pick up some extra side jobs. You may need to supplement that, find something you're good at, and go see if your neighbors need their driveway shoveled. I mean, it can be anything. Get creative. This is not forever. It feels like it is, but this is a short rut.
At the moment, I actually even make donuts on the weekend just to cover up that little.
That's awesome. At some point, you're going to have a hard conversation about, is this the job for you? A job that doesn't offer any work in the wintertime, that doesn't sound tenable or sustainable. And if competition's eating your company alive, it may be time for you to say, okay, in 2 years, where do I want to be? Do I want to be a nurse practitioner? In 5 years, do I want to be a nurse? In 2 years, do I want to own my own truck? In 3 years, do I want to have a mechanic shop? Whatever those things are, start planning for those things now. But, man, there's a lot of, we've already done this, we've already done this. You got to start this thing with your attitude, brother, and say, sweet, this is falling apart, sucks, now I'm on to the next. Now what's going to be there for me and my family? Go get it, man.
Yeah, you're 22 with $2,000 in debt. You're going to look back at this 6 months from now, and you're going to be out of debt. You're going to be working on that fully funded emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses, and then you're not going to be worried about the hours and what's going to happen. You're going to have what we call financial peace. And after that, you're going to begin investing and saving for that kid's college and paying off the house early and doing all kinds of amazing things. And so I want you to dream about that future and let that vision fuel this fire where you go, you know what? I'm going to do whatever it takes right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to look back and say, remember when things were crazy and my job, there was no hours, we were doing whatever it took to get by. And those are the stories you're going to be able to tell your son. And so get plugged into the stuff. I'll have Austin pick up and make sure you get connected to Ramsey Plus, and that will walk with you along this journey to make sure that you know exactly what the right next step is. Perfect. Thank you for that, Darren. Good call, John.
Yeah, man.
Man, but it is interesting that
It's
a
easy to feel
22-year-old
trapped.
guy who
Yeah.
thought my life's over.
Yeah.
I have $2,000 in debt. I thought he was going to say, I'm 64, I have nothing in retirement, I lost my job, and I have $100,000 in debt.
And almost all of the time I hear somebody with that level of despair.
Yeah.
There's life circumstances going on. Somebody's marriage is in trouble. Someone's got an 8-month-old, and they're in the doldrums of winter in Canada, right? Whatever it may be. And it's easy to see a little road block, a little speed bump as this giant mountain. And it's just not. You just got to back out far enough and go, all right, man, I thought this was going to be it. I'm 22. Dude, I was a high school coach when I was 22. And since then, now I have a YouTube show. I mean, who knows where this thing's going.
Yeah.
But you got to get out there and hustle. And you got to say, all right, this isn't working. This ship has got a hole in it, so I got to get on another boat and
Absolutely.
go find another job.
Yeah. And that's a great reminder for anyone listening, because no matter what age you are, you always feel like it's too late for me.
Right.
Right? And I'm 42 and I just lost my job, or I'm 18 and I don't know what I want to do with my
It's
life.
all over. It's not.
It's never too late to take
It's not
control.
over. 62. Start over again.
Yep.
Start over again. 72. Start over again. Just keep getting back up. Keep getting back up. Keep getting back up.
Brought to you by CHM, a biblically based alternative to health insurance. Learn more at chministries.org/budget.
So I'm 25, married. I got a daughter and about $550,000 in debt, including a mortgage. Just kind of feels like I have your Every Dollar app. I've been trying to use it, but even then, it just feels really overwhelming. Trying to see basically no light at the end of the tunnel. So, right. So I just need some guidance, basically, on how to work it out from here.
How much consumer debt do you have? Let's separate the mortgage out because that'll help take away this mountain of debt you're looking at.
Sure, yeah. 1 second here. I have $145,000 home equity line of credit, $14,000 personal line of credit on my wife's side that was transferred over from a student loan, $1,000 credit card, and a $5,000 credit card. So about $165,000 total.
What was the home equity line for?
Consolidating other debt.
What was that debt?
2 cars that we had, and then some of it too was basically robbing Peter to pay Paul. Right, my wife went on here in Ontario. Like you get 18 months of maternity leave, right? So, but when you are on 18 months, the subsidy that you get from the government is very low. Like it could be maybe $500 a month, right? So I was using that to pay for our home expenses too, on top of that.
So she couldn't afford to go on 18 months worth of leave, but did it anyway.
12 or 18 months, yeah, is what you get. So
yeah, no, you don't get it at full. You get it at $500 a month and starve to death. So she couldn't. You guys could not afford for her to go out for 18 months, but she did anyway.
Yeah, she was on maternity leave for that time. Yeah.
Then use debt to fund it, essentially.
Yeah, at the time I was working a commission job, right? So I wasn't making a steady income. You know, at a time during that 18 months.
At the time, you couldn't afford for her to take that much time off, and she did anyway.
Yes.
Okay, I want y'all to hear that. I want, because you can't go into these things and you fall backward into them again. You can do that once, but you need to learn what the mistake was. And the mistake was you can't look up and go, well, I don't want to work.
Yeah.
That's not an option when you're broke. All right. So what do you make now?
I make about 80 to 100,000.
What does she make now?
About 65-ish, 70.
Okay, so you make 165.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will get raises for the next 4 years.
How long has she been back to work?
For about 6 to 8 months now.
Okay. Because you should have easily been making it with both of you working. And making progress. Yeah. Good God, what does it take for you to live? I mean, you should be putting $5,000, $6,000, $8,000, $10,000 a month on these debts.
Yeah, I mean, our take-home pay probably per month is about $8,000.
Oh yeah, you're in Canada. I forgot you guys get your butts taxed off. We whine about taxes in the U.S. and you make us look like champions.
Are you guys investing too at all?
Yeah, she has an investment account here. We call it's a tax-free savings account, right? So you get to and you get to invest and you get to take it out tax-free, but you're capped at about $6,000 a year to put in.
Yeah, you need to stop investing temporarily and work what we call the baby steps. Have you ever heard of that?
I have, just based on the podcast. Like, I've thought about getting Financial Peace University. I didn't know if it translated over to Canada, but I'm sure the principals would too.
The principals do. I'll send you a copy of the Total Money Makeover book. And George, then he would work the baby steps.
Yeah, so baby step 1 is a $1,000 starter emergency fund. Likely you guys have that. And then baby step 2, again, you're pausing investing. We're not borrowing another dime. You're going to pay off all of your debts from smallest to largest balance with the debt snowball method. So you make minimum payments on all the debts, but on that smallest one, attack it with a vengeance. Throw as much extra as you can at it, and it gets knocked out real quick because it's the smallest one. Take that payment you freed up, apply it to the next and to the next until you're completely debt-free. And if you do it that way, making 165 and maybe working even more, maybe you get a side hustle, you guys can clean this up in 2 years.
No eating out, no vacations, no investing, no over-taxation. Don't over-withhold. Make sure your withholding is only what you have to pay in taxes, no more. You don't want to get tax refunds like we do in the U.S. It's a bad idea. And you guys got to live on beans and rice and beans, because you have made a freaking mess at 25 years old with babies. And that's not unusual. You're not a horrible person. Most people live like you're living. But as you described when you opened the call, when I picked up the phone, it's no freaking fun. Normal sucks. And I don't want to be normal. So you got to get mad and pay. And if you got any savings at all that's not retirement savings, start throwing it at these debts tonight. Knock out that $1,000 credit card, cut it up. Knock out that $5,000 credit card, cut it up. Knock out that little $14,000 personal loan and be done with it. Man, that right there is only $20,000. You should be done with that in just a few months. And then that gets you down to the home equity line and the house, and then I want you to plow through that home equity line as fast as you possibly can, or refinance the house and roll the home equity line into it, either one. But no more borrowing ever. You need to have plastic surgery, chop up the credit cards, a plastectomy. You need to decide, I'm not living like this anymore, so that you can get clear of this, because you've spent more than you make your entire married life. And it's reached the end mathematically. You don't have that option to do that anymore. And it's stressful, and it makes you feel shamed, and it puts a strain on your relationship. And you guys, as a couple, as two grown-ups, have to live on less than you make. Period. No exceptions. And by the way, Connor, that's all of us. All of you people listening, all of you people watching, you have to live on less than you make. And I was the master at spending money and borrowing to cover up my disorganization, my impulsive spending, my entitled mentality. I had all of that in my 20s. And it's one of the things that led me to build a business that caused me to go bankrupt. And that's how I learned all this stuff, was the hard way. So I've done it worse than you.
And one of the biggest traps out there is when you play the shell game, you start moving the debts around. Well, we can consolidate that. We can wrap it into the HELOC. And you feel like you did something because action was taken. But you just moved the debts around and didn't clean any of it up. In fact, it probably is worse now because they're not separated, so you don't get to do the debt snowball with a giant HELOC sitting there. And so this is the stupid tax that we talk about. And one day you look back and go, man, remember when we were young and we made all those decisions? Well, at 27, you guys are going to be completely debt-free if you do it this way with the rest of your life ahead of you.
Or sooner. Yeah.
You heard, Dave. Get to work.
Yeah. I mean, I want you guys.
18 months?
Beans and rice. No freaking life. And I don't care if your broke friends are making fun of you. If your broke friends are making fun of your financial plan, that means you're right on track. It's like fat people making fun of your diet. You don't care. Yeah, I don't care. I'm trying to stay alive. I'm trying to build a future here. And you don't have any credibility to make fun of me. So you don't get a vote in my life. And when you reach that kind of stuff, that's when everything changes. And so you and your wife tonight need to have a come to Jesus meeting, and the two of us say, all right, we are not doing this anymore. Brand new life. 2 children, having children, no more. We're 2 adults now. And we're going to make adult decisions, and we're going to get after this. And adults devise a plan and follow it. Children do what feels good. And I got to tell you, I don't care if you're 55 or you're 25. If you just do what feels good, I work so hard, I deserve it. You don't deserve nothing. Shut up, you whiner. You deserve it when you saved up the money and paid for it because you worked your butt off. That's when you deserve it. Until then, you didn't deserve it. I work hard. Like we all don't work hard. You want some cheese with that wine? Shut up.
Dave just served up a charcuterie board right there.
I'm serious, man. I deserve. You don't deserve it. You deserve to get off your butt and straighten things up. That's what you deserve. That's it. I'm not yelling at you, Connor. I'm yelling at everybody.
CHM isn't health insurance. It's a health cost-sharing ministry. Check it out for yourself at chministries.org/budget. Leanne in Brooklyn. Hey, welcome to the show.
Hello.
What's going on?
What's going on, ladies? So we started the baby steps about a month and a half ago, and we owe my uncle $11,000 in rent. And we started paying the credit cards, but I think that this should come first. So I said this to my husband, and he said, "Ask Dave Ramsey and let's find out what you guys say."
And here you are.
Because he's skeptical about it.
Yeah, for sure. So how much credit card debt do you guys have?
Credit cards, not like $15,000.
$15,000, okay.
Altogether.
Yep.
Not much. We really, not that bad. But we have car loans too.
Okay, and how much are those?
10 and 25.
10 and 25,000, okay. Well, and how many credit cards are in that $12,000 credit card debt? I know you said total, but how many separate are there?
There's a bunch of some little ones. There's some little ones and one big one.
Okay.
So it's maybe 4.
How is your uncle treating you about that debt? Like, what's
it's awful. He's not talking to us.
Oh gosh, how long has it been? How long have you owed him this money?
I mean, the rent isn't even that much. It's really, we didn't pay him for almost a year.
Why was
that? As soon as we read the book, we started paying him again. Like last month, we paid him. We're budgeting for it now. It shouldn't be a problem at all from now on. But now, and he was nice to us for a long time, but just the last, I don't know how many months it's been that he hasn't been talking to us.
And specifically because of the rent.
Everything.
Correct. You guys are not having communication because of the rent, not because of another issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's it.
Okay.
What's your communication been towards him? I know you said he's kind of been ugly about it. What's been your attitude towards the debt throughout that year that you weren't able to pay it?
I mean, I always assumed, next month we'll figure it out. I can't believe how much time went by.
Yeah.
And I was always saying to my husband, I was like, it's not even that much money. We have to figure it out. And it was always like, well, you tell me how. We really were lost until we read the book.
Yeah, for sure. Leanne, have you guys, I know you're not speaking now, but has there been any conversation from your end with just kind of some humility and apology and wanting to make right with him? Has there been that conversation?
I mean, I do. I tell him what we're doing now, and how I do tell him. He knows that I'm sorry.
Okay.
He knows that I feel bad and that I want us to do things together. We usually do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dinners and whatever. And
sure.
My kids love him so much and they miss him, and it's hard.
Oh, absolutely. Well, when a relationship is fractured in the middle of money stress as well, I mean, that adds on, and that it's heartbreaking.
Absolutely. It's interesting. if it were me, in every other circumstance, Rachel, I'm going to go through and work the debt snowball and pay things off. In a situation where there's family involved, maybe there's a relationship there, it could be worth going and paying that one first, $11,000. What would you say to that?
Yeah, you could. And Leanne, what I would even do, if you feel comfortable with it, if you guys want to do kind of the rigid way of the debt snowball, because I think for you guys as a family, your nuclear family, getting some quick wins of these like kind of small credit card debts, that she was saying, getting kind of some of those quick wins under your belt will give you a boost of confidence. And there's even something, Leanne, I would even write out all of your debts. We say to do that for the debt snowball, smallest to largest, every credit card. Don't lump it into one. Do very specific credit cards, 2 different car payments, this $11,000 loan. Put payments below that of minimum payments of what that's going to be, and then how much extra you guys can throw at the debt, and build out this plan. And maybe if you communicate that to him and say, hey, here's the time frame.
So important.
By, what are we in? January. So just say by August or whatever it is, we're going to start paying on this. And it's going like, here's our plan, here's what we're doing. I think just the communication part and showing him actual numbers and dates
absolutely
might help as well. And an apology, Leanne. I think too, like just a humble spirit from you guys, which I hear in you, I think will be very helpful. So I hope that helps.